Hey everybody, welcome back to the Crack When Open podcast. I'm your host, Big Bob, with my co-host.
D-Rock, what's cracking, everybody? Hope you're having a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever the fuck you're at. I hope it's going well.
As do I. How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty chill. We tried to keep it inside because it's hot as balls down here in Florida. It's like 100 to 105 pretty much every day. And so, it's just pretty hard to go outside and enjoy yourself. So Rachel and I decided to have a lazy movie, TV watching weekend. And what the hell is that? So we started watching a TV show called Parks and Recs. Have you ever watched that before?
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, that's pretty. I was actually pretty nervous to watch it because I'm a big Office guy, and I know the same people made it, so I didn't want them to potentially fuck up another show and make them ruin like my perception of The Office. But dude, we powered through like 2 seasons of it on the weekend, and I have to say it's almost funnier than The Office.
Yeah, I definitely put it up there, dude. Like it has its own little. It's like 2 different versions of comedy almost. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's similar, like you said, it's very similar shooting, but I agree, it's almost funnier.
Yeah, because it happened after The Office, right?
I believe it
so.
started the season. I believe it started in the last season of The Office, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Which I probably am. I'm a big idiot.
So, but that makes sense then, because I was talking to Rachel about it. I'm like, man, like this show really seems like it knows what its limits are, and like The Office had to keep finding those limits. So it had to ease into things, and this one was just like, no, we're fucking going, and it was just, I mean, so this is how funny I think this show is, Bob. So not only did we have a lazy weekend, we took an edible. And it actually started working. It started working. And for anybody who knows me, it's the first time I've ever done anything like that.
Let's fucking go, dude.
So, and I didn't feel weird or anything like that, but I guess I was like kind of acting weird. So this scene happens where the main character, and I don't know her name because I've just been powering through the show, is getting ready to go on a date for the first time. And her one friend is giving her exposure therapy. All the worst things that could happen on a first date. And the girl sits down and she's like, "You're late and I can see your nipples through your shirt." And I'm fucking dying laughing so hard. I'm crying. I'm gasping for air. I fucking vomited laughing so hard. And I like caught it in my mouth.
You threw up?
Oh, dude, I fucking vomited. It was in my mouth. I'm like... And I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. And I had to go, and I'm fucking puking. I'm fucking laughing because I laughed so hard.
So was it really because you were laughing so hard, or like did you feel nauseous?
Didn't feel nauseous at all. You know how I wheeze?
Yes.
Like I can't. Sometimes it makes my stomach hurt really bad because I'm not breathing. And that time I'm just like, boom, and I'm like, holy shit. And I come back out, and Rachel's like, the fuck is wrong with you? That wasn't even that funny. And then I made her rewatch the scene with me, and I just sat there and started crying, laughing again.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. It makes me happy that it worked too.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You actually experience some sort of altered feeling.
Yeah, it was very minor. Like I felt more subjective to things, I guess. Like someone could talk me into doing things. Like it wasn't anything like so fucking baked, man. I was just having a good time. But I will say, after we turned the show off and I was going to bed, we brought the dogs out, and I'm like, man, my heart's going really fast. I'm like, what's going on? And I just was focused on my heart for like an hour, and I'm like, am I gonna die? Like, how long? And I started talking to her. I'm like, how long could my heart start beating like this for? And I'm like, what if do I need to go to the hospital? And she's like, Derek, you're fucking paranoid. I went from this happy fucking laughing person to me being like, what's going on?
Good thing you took a small dose of that, dude, because if you took like a bigger one, that shit would have spiraled.
2.
Oh, you took 2? Okay.
Yeah, I took it. That would be like almost 200 milligrams. Yeah. So it was a
holy
decent
shit
amount.
You handled that pretty damn well.
Last time we took 2, but over the course of 2 hours, and it did nothing. So we just took it on an empty stomach, and yeah, it was fine.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, dude, I was having a good time. I was like, ooh, we need to do this again.
Because you know the stories about the first time I got high, right?
I do not.
Oh, oh boy. So,
well, you've been doing it for a long time, so
yeah. So the first time, like, we did it real young, like when we first started smoking. I mean, we were.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even think we were freshmen yet.
You weren't.
No, definitely not. So we were pretty young, and we were hanging out with high school kids. And when you're young, even if you're not, if you've never smoked anything before, like, you don't really know how to inhale it. Like, you're like trying to swallow it and shit. So like, I had smoked weed a bunch of times, but I don't ever think I really properly inhaled it until we bought weed from some high school fella, and we went to drive to the park to play catch with a football and smoke weed by the bocce courts. And we were smoking on the way there. We got there, we played catch, and every time I would catch the ball, I was like feeling more and more like farther away from them, I guess, and like my depth perception was off, and I was catching. I was like, "Whoa, I didn't think it was that close to me." Like, and every time it would happen, like, I would feel weirder and weirder until like I started getting cotton mouth, and it was so bad, and I was so high that I was feeling the saliva literally getting sucked into my mouth, and like my mouth was getting drier and drier. I could just feel the saliva like going away. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever, and I started panicking, and I was like, "Hey, can I have a sip of your drink?" And he was like, this random dude, I didn't really know him very well. He was like, "Yeah, here, just don't drink it all." I was like, "All right, thanks." And I took a sip, and I felt the same thing again. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I drank his whole drink. He got pissed, so he was like, "All right, he picked us up at Taco Bell, and he's like, 'All right, we're taking you back to Taco Bell now. Like, you guys got to go away.'" So we get in the car, and we're starting to drive out of the park. You know how close the park is to Taco Bell. It's like a 3-minute drive. So now I'm starting to panic, like, because now I'm starting to feel even fucking weirder, like out of my skin, just this weird feeling. And so we're driving there, and I'm starting to panic. I'm like, "Guys, I think I'm dying." Like, I'm like freaking out. I start crying. I'm like, "Take me to the hospital. I won't say anything. Just take me to the hospital." And he's like, "We're not taking you to the hospital. You smoked weed. You didn't do crack." Like, they're like, they're like, this fucking kid, like this 13-year-old fucking dumbass is gonna get us caught. I'm like, "Just take me to the hospital." I'm crying, and I'm working myself up so much that I like passed out, and I came to. And like, now my heart's beating again. I'm like, "Where are we? How'd we get here?" We're at Taco Bell, and I'm freaking out. All the boys are there because just 2 of us went to get it, and like we ended up smoking. 2 of us went to get it, and we brought it back, and I'm freaking out. And I'm like, "I want to go home. I want to go to the hospital, but I don't know how. My mom's gonna be mad at me. I think I'm dying. If I die, tell my mom I love her." And like, I'm doing all this crazy shit, and I think it was Joe went and got a 5-layer burrito for me, and dude, I smashed that 5-layer burrito, and like, I was kind of calming down after I was eating, and I did calm down eventually, and I was like, "All right, guys, let's go smoke again." And we went and smoked, and the same thing happened all over again. But this time I was like in the comfort of my house or Joe's house. I couldn't remember, but yeah, that happened several times. That was just the first time it actually worked for me. So yours went better than mine, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I put myself in the right environment. I mean, I wasn't hanging out with some sketchy fucking high schooler who...
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I literally put on a funny fucking show. I Ubered eat Mickey D's for us, and we just sat there and had a good fucking time.
Shout out McDonald's.
Yeah, shout out. But yeah, so what about your weekend? Did you have as much fun as I did?
No, I didn't have that much fun. I wish I did. But me and my buddy Travis went to a golf outing on Sunday. That was very fun, and it was like you were saying how you guys were in the house. It's been pretty nice here lately, like not too hot, not too cool, nice. It was the hottest day it's been in a long time on that golf outing. And once I got home, I think me and you did something like no, we didn't. You didn't get on that night. I got home.
This is
I played
the first time we've talked in a couple days.
That's true. I got home. I played a couple games of Warzone, and then I started getting the worst headache I've ever had in my life, probably from drinking beer on that hot day and no water. And I went right to bed and passed out. And then last night we had a little mini bachelor party for my boy that's getting hitched, Joe. And yeah, we did all that fun stuff last night, and pretty tired today, but here we is.
Did you go to any strip clubs, get that boy a lap dance?
No, that's I'm leaving for vacation in a couple days, and unfortunately that's going to be on one of the days that I'm gone. So yeah. I'm going to miss out on that fun.
That would be a good time. I mean, I know last time on the last episode of the podcast, if you made it that far through, we talked about one of the local ones, Palace in the Pines. It's probably where they'd go, right? Big trashy strip club.
Yeah, I told him to go there and ask for Kitty, so we'll see what happens.
Ooh, yeah. So I have a couple funny stories with Palace in the Pines. So my 18th birthday, my dad brought me to the Palace in the Pines. Which sounds weird, you know, your dad, but my dad is like my best friend. We're like we're more bros than anything. And not only that, we brought my other buddy, who also just turned 18 at the time. So we're at Palace in the Pines, and it's like this catwalk. And these girls they stop at each guy and give them a nice lap dance. Not a nice lap dance, but they show their pussy.
Yeah.
And so there's some girls, like, it's kind of like you got beer goggles on. There's some ones that look like fucking hot garbage, and then there's ones that look better. But I bet you if the hot garbage wasn't next to them, they wouldn't look as good. But this one girl with these big tits, and I love big tits. I'm like, I want a lap dance from her, but I had to wait. So I'm letting these girls go through, and this one girl, a real string bean looking crackhead bitch, she had like this ghetto purple hair and this fucked up looking pussy. So she's like on her like feet and one hand, and she's like back like playing with herself. And she like sticks her fingers out in like this flicking formation and flicks her fucking pussy juice at me. And oh my god, so
did it hit you?
Oh dude, it hit me right on the fucking cheek.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh man. And I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, we'll come back. And so that was happening on like a Saturday, and then it's Monday morning, and I'm in my English class in high school with my buddy Nick. He's next to me, and I'm telling him the same story, and he goes, is that why you're breaking out all over your face in this one spot? I had these fucking pimples like all right by my eye. I mean, probably like 5 or 6 of them. And I'm like, probably? That girl's pussy juice was all on my cheek. And we were there for hours. And then we went back and we just had I went to a party and had a good time. But man, like I had this pussy juice all over the side of my face. But yeah, like then that girl with the big old titties, she's like, yeah, she's available now. So I go back. I'm like motorboating her fucking titties. And I'm grabbing. I'm like, woo! Like, man, I'm like, I want to fuck this bitch. And I didn't. I didn't because probably like $1. But you know, when a pussy's cheap, you know how many other hot dogs have been in there. So
that's true.
Don't do it.
That's
true. And so I'm back. I'm getting another lap dance from this other bitch. That's fine. And like this one, you could like literally touch them. Like you could do anything you want. And next thing I know, I hear Dylan like going and talking to my dad because it was pretty close. And he's like, she just asked me if I want a blowjob for $5. And my dad's like, did you do it?
You did it, right, bud?
And Dylan's like, no, I wouldn't do that. And we're like, well, you should go do it. So the same girl that offers him a lap dance then proceeds to give me a lap dance a couple minutes later. And I'm like, I'm not going to get a blowjob. I don't want a blowjob. She didn't even offer to give me a blowjob, which I was kind of pissed at. I was insulted by a fucking pink slip fucking hooker. And I just was like, okay, whatever. But then she's like, and we're in these little rooms, and she's like fingering herself like on her clit, and she has this hangnail, and it gets caught in her puss, and she's like, ah! And I'm like, I like got up, I pushed her off, I'm like, we're out of here, and we just fucking left. But, and I know I'm kind of rambling
Ew.
here. Yeah, dude. Fucking hangnail in the puss, screaming. And then,
Go get a fucking manicure, you animal.
So, as we're leaving, and we're walking out, we see this man come out of this back room, and we've been there for hours. And we see this guy. My dad's like, I know that guy. I work with him. And he's like, his wife's out of town. So he was back there. I mean, you know he was fucking. This fucking trashy ass stripper. And then the kind of close off this entire story. A couple weeks later, because I'm born at the end of November, we're out Christmas shopping at the local mall. We're at a JCPenney, and we go up to this counter. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, Dad, that's one of the strippers from the fucking mall. From Palace in the Pines. She's working here at JCPenney. And it's the fucking string bean crack looking bitch who flicked her pussy juice on my cheek. And I am dying. I'm crying, laughing. I mean, I couldn't even check out, Bob. I had to put the shit back and leave. It was ridiculous.
Dude, sometimes life just comes full circle like that.
Yeah, and like...
You should have went up and said, you made me break out, bitch.
Yeah, like, are you clean? Are you clean? Like,
Oh,
I got pussy juice on my fucking face. I mean, I've had pussy juice on my face since, and I didn't break out. So...
That's true. Something was wrong with that.
Yeah, that pussy... Man.
Yeah, the Palace is a fun place. So my buddy, I got a story from there. I'll keep it short and sweet. I don't want to get into too many details.
I'll get into all the details.
So my buddy bought me a lap dance one day. Wasn't any special occasion. Honestly, I think it was like a fucking Thursday night or something. We left work, went to the bar, had a few too many Jack and Cokes, and went down to the Palace after. It was super late. I know it was a weekday, and we go to the back room, like where they do the private dances and stuff.
Yeah,
and
those little like phone booths. They're so tight.
And so I got up to go pee real quick, and I came back to that small little stage that they have there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. And I get back, and my buddy goes, "Stand back up." And I was like, "What? Are we leaving already?" And he was like, "No." And he looked up, and there's a stripper right next to me. I go, "Well, hello." And she's like, "You got to dance." And I was like, "All right." And I went back there. The dance started. Things progressed, and my dick got pulled out of my pants. And I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And she was like, "Your buddy paid for it." I'm like, "I don't want this. I got a girlfriend." And it went on from there. I put my dick back in my pants, and I went, "You're bad," and I left. And I never went back since. I was like, "You're naughty. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not coming back. You're bad."
So, if you weren't in a relationship, would you have let her suck your dick?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Would you have fucked her?
No. I would have been like,
you would have let her suck your dick though.
Yeah, I would have been like, go in your little. I'm sure there was like all kinds of little devices somewhere in there. I was like, go get me a condom, and then you can continue because I don't want nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, you can still get herpes.
Yeah, you can still get and that's not the place that I would allow that to happen. Now you go to a top notch like 5-star one, I wouldn't be as concerned. I'd still be concerned, but not as concerned. But
yeah, dude, strip clubs are the best. I haven't been to one in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't been to one either. The last one I went to was in Pittsburgh, and Christy Mack was there that night. And
isn't that your favorite porn star?
Yes, big fan. But like we walked in right when she was done with her like 5-minute dance that she probably got paid $10,000 to do, and it was a night that the Pirates had a game. I forget the team that they were playing, but they were all down main stage getting bottle service with the sparklers up there. It was pretty cool to see. Like, you know, that was like a movie scene kind of thing. You don't really see that in person every day. Bottle service, you know, major league sports team. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't been to one since I was in college. Our buddy Tyler, he's this really wealthy guy, brought us and all our friends to the Diamond Lodge out in Canton. And we literally went there. He paid for everything. I mean, this dude is fucking beyond rich. and he literally emptied out the ATM, brought all the money out, set it on the table, and when we walked in, the owner was like, "Tyler?" And he's like, "Yeah." Because Diamond Lodge has a couple locations, and he always goes to the other one. They're like, "Oh, I'm the owner." And we got like all this fucking special treatment. All the fucking strippers were all over us. We got like a shower show. All this crazy shit. And then I remember, we all left with like a few $100 that night. It was a good night. We got
That's
lap
cool.
dances and all that. But my one buddy, Ryan, there are some strippers that are actually good looking, especially at a better place like the Lodge.
Yeah.
So Ryan had, pretty much has your fucking pick. And he picks the ugly, fat one. And she has the smallest tits, no ass, and probably a stinky pussy. And he's like, "I want to bring her home." I'm like, "Anybody but this one, Ryan. What is wrong with you?" And, he was in love. Like, you could tell in his eyes, he was like, "We're going to get married. We're going to have little stripper babies. It's going to be a great time." But,
Little
dude,
stripper
like,
babies.
Have you ever gotten a shower show?
A what?
Like a shower show?
What's that?
So you go to, it's a big private room, and it's like this big shower, and all the girls are in there, and like it's like these dry, like it could either be water or there's like this neon paint. And this one was like neon paint, and these girls are like fucking scissoring each other, fucking each other, and it was cool. And they're like,
It
I'm
was
like,
really cool.
But I will tell you this though. I enjoyed my time at the Palace in the Pines way more than I enjoyed the Diamond Lodge, because the Palace in the Pines is trashy and you can get away with a lot more.
Yeah, not only that, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like the Palace is kind of like a joke, I guess.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's like a late night spur of the moment type thing. Nobody's like planning for weeks. Let's go to the Palace. You know what I mean? But like when I went to the one in Pittsburgh, that was kind of a spur of the moment thing too. But like that was the one that you're like, dude, they're having fucking the girl that was on the cover of Playboy last month or whatever, stripping there like that. So like that's a place
it's
you
a
can kind of plan
classier
to.
establishment, and yeah, so there's a chance to see some talent that you're actually familiar with. But I was just saying, like, from a fun perspective, there's so much less liability. Like, if you're touching girls at the Diamond Lodge, we can get away with it. There was so much money on the table, but other people would be like getting kicked out, and that's not fun. That would be embarrassing.
And like at the Palace, they touch you, which doesn't really happen at other ones.
Oh, dude, yeah, they will fuck you for the right amount of money.
Yeah, because like that's kind of what sets it aside from like, like they initiate it. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's wrong. They initiate it, and like at places like the Palace and stuff like that. But
well, that's like
those
the
classier ones.
I was sitting there I was like I knew you're not supposed to touch a stripper, and they're like, you can touch me and play with me. I'm like, all right. Like,
All right.
Say less. Say less. But like at first I would always put my hands down because, maybe one's a little bit of a hoe and the other one's just going through college. You never know.
That's right.
Yeah, but so those are good times. But so we haven't done this in a while. We actually have a voicemail that you can call and leave us a funny message. We haven't gotten any in a little bit, so we actually pulled one up. But if you do want to leave a funny voicemail, whether you got strip club stories or whatever the case may be, call us. So the voicemail, it's the phone number's 234-281-3954. I'm just gonna warn you, it will be played if it's funny. But just make it good.
Yeah, and if you leave one, keep in mind that it will most likely be played if it's good. So
Yeah. But so this one we actually we found this one on TikTok. Bob has not heard this yet. I have, but dude, it is fucking hilarious. Bob, give it a play.
we'll play it right now.
No, I can't hear it, Bob.
What the fuck?
I don't think anybody else could hear that but you.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I can't hear that at all.
All right, sorry. Let me try this again.
god. Yeah. So the context is that girl's calling her sister, and like because for this embarrassing moment. But like, what do you do? Okay, so if you're that guy, what do you do if the girl that you're fucking having sex with goes to the bathroom, and you go in there after, and there's just a log in the fucking litter box? Like, what do you do to that situation?
And your cat's been dead for a week. I say get out. Don't ever come back. You're nuts.
You would say that?
Yeah. She picked her shit up.
But there's so many different ways to do that.
Is there?
But like,
is there though?
I'm sure there is. Like, plunger or the thing, and you just put it over in the litter box.
Ultimately needing to use your hands in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but there's soap. I mean,
I know.
I guess it would depend on the level of attractiveness of this individual.
That's true. But wouldn't you much rather somebody come up to you and be like, "Hey, listen, I've had a rough couple meals. I used the facilities. Things got a little wild. It ain't flushing. You got a plunger?"
But see, I wouldn't do that. Like, I wouldn't do that either. I mean, I am very open, but like, especially when you're like being intimate with someone, that has to be nerve-wracking. Like, funny story about like clogging a toilet. So, first time I went over our buddy TJ's house, we were maybe 7th or 8th grade. I go over there and I just go pee, and I go and I flush, and this bitch is not. It's like going up and up and up.
Oh, that's
and
such
it starts
a scary moment.
It overflows all over his fucking bathroom floor. I'm like, TJ, it's overflowing, and he's like, what? And in his monotone voice, and I'm not one to talk. I have one as well, but he's like, what'd you do? I'm like, I just peed, and I was a victim. I'm a fucking victim here because someone dropped a big stinky deuce, knew it was clogged, and just left it.
Yeah.
So whoever went next was just guilty. And it was the first time I ever was over his house. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, T, you gotta take the blame for this. You gotta
do it.
I didn't do this. You did this. And he took the blame. I was
really?
proud of my boy. Oh yeah.
Oh, shout out T.
Yeah, shout out T if you're listening, which you better be. Yeah. And if you are listening, T, you better bring it up next time we talk.
That's right.
So we yeah, so like he took the blame and we cleaned it up, but man, that's embarrassing. Like, yeah, like overflowing's embarrassing, and I've done it a couple times in my life now. And those are stories for a different time. But I see where this girl's coming from. I'm like, fuck, like I wouldn't want that to happen to me. Like, I don't know. I've just seen so many different TikToks of different things happening like this. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Unfortunately, yeah. So I took a big stinky deuce, as you say. This was a couple years ago, like right when me and Brooke got the house, and I didn't know the toilet was clogged. I flushed it went down, and then I did a courtesy flush as I always do. It went down.
We're victims.
And I was taking a nap on the couch, and I wake up to Brooke yelling downstairs, Bobby, come help. I'm like, when you wake up to something like that, you're like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, what? And I get up there, and then there's just water everywhere. And I'm like, what happened? And she pretty much said the same thing that you said. She's like, I just took a piss and the toilet overflowed. And I'm like, get a towel, get something. And like, we're like wiping everything up. And it was there was, thank God there was no shit on the floor. But like, there was water everywhere, man. And I was like, that was the first time that has ever happened to me. And it was upstairs. So I was like, is this going to go through the floor? Like, what's going to happen? Thankfully it didn't. And
I've had one where it was upstairs and it went through.
Dude, thankfully
So
it didn't go
embarrassing.
towards the edge of the tile, because that bathroom's tile floor, like actual tile floor, not the laminate. So like the grout and everything kind of held the water from going to the sides. So it worked out, thankfully. But I was like, what the fuck's going to happen now? I was scared, but it worked out. That was the only time that's ever happened, though. And I was the one that initiated the overflow.
Yeah, I'll have to tell my other one a different time, but I've seen this guy, like, embarrassing stories like where you're intimate with someone and something bad happens. Like this guy was saying he was really fucking drunk. He had sex with this girl, spent the night, and they're in bed, and he woke up a little bit before her, and he pissed the bed. All over the place. It's all over her. And he's like, oh, man, what do I do? So he took a beer, opened it up, threw it in the bed right in between them, spilt it all over the place, and he went back to bed. So she woke up, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, oh, we must have spilled some beer in the bed. Which,
that's genius.
Genius. Fucking genius. Which, I mean, like, you're fucking probably still drunk and you thought of doing that. Like, my guy.
For sure, dude. Like, something with piss like that is probably way easy. Well, it definitely is way easier to cover up than shitting in a toilet and making somebody think that their dead cat did it.
It's haunting you.
You pissed it off at some point of its life.
Yeah, one last deuce. But yeah, I guess he said that she had like her brother's clothes or something there, and she like gave him a change of clothes, and she actually even gave him a ride home.
That's a real king right there, dude.
Yeah, it's a good time, but
good times,
man. So I did something recently that I swore I was never gonna do. Ooh. I'm a big believer in free porn, and nobody should have to pay for porn. But let me tell you, the Hub and all these other sites I like browsing just ain't doing it anymore. The content is old. Everyone's moved over to this fucking OnlyFans. So you're pretty much just jerking off the videos you've seen your entire life at that point. How do you feel about that?
About OnlyFans?
No, just about like how like there's no more new content going public for everyone to see for free. It's all about this pay and play shit. I hate it.
Yeah, I agree. It's been pretty dry, if you will. But yeah, everybody's going over the OnlyFans thing, and I've dabbled.
Yeah, I started dabbling this weekend. Well, I guess it wasn't this weekend. It was yesterday. And
oh, this is like a fresh story.
Yeah. So, TikTok, the land of the thoughts, as I'm going to put this. And I've made it clear I'm a big MILF guy, and there's this girl. She's pretty hot. Her name's what was her name? Alexia or Alexis something.
Texas?
Let me. No. Her name is Allie Ray. Fine MILF, very fine. She has fake tits. I'm not into that, but I'm willing to look past that because she's fine. So I'm like, fuck, man. Like, she's really hot. Let's see if she has an OnlyFans. I'm like, all right, it's like $10. Oh, I could get behind $10 for 1 month. You buy it, and I immediately canceled, so I didn't get recharged just in case. Sure. And I'm so fucking mad, Bob. There's some nudes on there and stuff like that, but like, I need this bitch to get the fuck in or ride in a dildo or something for like, you're paying this premium, and then there's this second paywall right there. I'm like, if you have an OnlyFans and you do this paywall, go fuck yourself. You're a bigger whore than I thought you were. Like,
yeah, dude, they get you with that because they post all this shit on like their Instagrams and stuff. You know, swipe up to see more, and then you swipe up to see more. You pay their little $5 fee, and you go to the page, and it's like there's nothing there. And every little post on there, there's like, purchase this video to see more, and it's like the video's $20.
Yeah. Well, like, and she has a bunch of nudes and some videos and stuff like that, but like, there's just like nothing worth stroking it to, man. Like, so I just paid $10 for some reading material. Like,
right.
I'm like, man, if I'm gonna pay $10, I might as well go over to the fucking palace and get fucking sucked. I mean, at least I would still have $5 left over.
That's true. I mean, I completely agree with that. But it is weird though how they like bait you like that. I mean, fantastic business minds. I give them all a lot of credit for that. They all are so business savvy when it comes to it. And I understand you're upset and you're hurt and you feel betrayed. But you got to respect the hustle. and I respect the hustle.
Look, I respect the hustle, and I'm not saying they're actually whores, but when in that moment when I'm like, look, I just bought this content, I've been imagining you naked now for all of 10 seconds since the first time I found you, and yeah, like it's like, come on, man, just give me. You got to give at least one. Like it's like you know, like nicotine. You need it in your system one time, and then you're willing to buy it again, and. Like, I'm like, man, I'm definitely not going to fucking renew this. I was really hoping there was going to be some fucking or some dildo riding, but nothing.
Yeah, like, you would think the smart thing to do is if they wanted to proceed with the pay to, you know, like the pay per video, like pay per view, if you will.
It's like pay for play. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
But, like, you would think if they wanted to continue with that, they would give you a little bit of, like, you know, good material for a free video just from the subscription. That would be the smart thing. And, like, put 1 or 2 out a month so, like, new subscribers or whatever can find it pretty, you know, not that far down in your recent posts or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
on
like,
OnlyFans.
maybe you can pin something.
Yeah.
Or, like I got, like, a DM from her, like, the first time, and it looked automated. But maybe you put it there. And it's like, man, just put it there. Like, maybe I would go again. Like, remember Fortnite? I told myself I was never going to buy a skin. I spent hundreds of dollars on these skins. and it's like, dude, I'll pay some more money to see your skin, you know. And
you just compared OnlyFans to Fortnite. I loved it.
It's the thing of once you do it once, it's a little easier to do it again. And but I've seen these videos on YouTube where this guy buys a bunch of different ones. And he tells you which ones are worth it, which ones there's paywalls behind. But she's not that big. I mean, she's not like famous or anything. I guess she's a top creator there. But like,
dude,
I guess some of them don't have.
Creator things are so sketchy.
What do you mean?
Everybody that has an OnlyFans is in a certain percentage of, like, an impressive looking percentage at least of top creators. There's so many people with an OnlyFans, not even just like porn shit. Like, there's people that do workout routines on OnlyFans. I'm not even joking.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you can pay per month to do live videos or live, like, training sessions with people. And, like, everybody's in a top percentage of creators. Like, how is that possible?
I don't know. This girl was like 0.01%. Like, I'm like, fuck, that's high.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, she's probably making good money. Just from, like, think about it. Even if you have 1,000 people paying you $10 a month, you're making $120,000 a year. You could be a whore for $120,000 a year. And you could also afford, dude, I'd be a whore for $50,000 a year. If I knew I didn't have to actually go out and get fucked by some random guys like those old hookers used to do. Like, that's what I would fucking do. Like, if I was a girl, even if I wasn't the best looking girl, and I would make an investment in my body if I didn't already have the assets, and I would get the fucking on there. I would promote the fuck out of myself.
Dude, I would if I knew I could make $150,000 off of OnlyFans. I'm not even saying if I was a girl or whatever. I would show my asshole right now for $150,000 a year if people would buy it. I don't give a shit. $150,000 a year? Fuck. Thanks. You're a good friend. You see?
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I'm so fucking annoyed because I'll never get my $10 back.
No. It was wasted.
And there's no fucking way I'm gonna go to this paywall. And, like, she has those stupid trailers on there too. She's like, swipe up to see my pussy. And it's like, I already paid, bitch. Show me your pussy.
I hate when they say stuff like that too. Like, just all you gotta do is say good video and people are gonna buy it. Like, these people make so much money. You know they get W-2s for that too, and they were able to, like, file for unemployment.
Really?
Yeah, or W-9s, whatever.
I bet you they're like W-9s or 1099.
Yeah, but yeah, they get that shit, and they can, like, it's
I mean,
it's
that
employment.
makes sense. But it's like if you're an affiliate for a company and you make over $600, yeah, you have to file for tax on that.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I started streaming and I made $600, I'd have to. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy world out there, and I fear that. I mean, this has only started blowing up in the past 6 to 12 months, man. I think the just online industry is just gonna fucking die.
Yeah, I mean it could for sure.
Like they almost need to make like, a couple of these whores need to get together, and what? But a couple of these whores need to get together and make like stop. But they need to get together and make like an OnlyFans Netflix, where I'm paying like I'd pay if I could get like if I could choose like 20 creators and get a certain amount of videos per month, I would pay like $20 a month.
Yeah,
And,
like an
you could pick and
accumulation of
choose-
videos.
Yeah, like you could pick and choose and go back and forth. But dude, there's no fucking way. It's like all the streaming services now. You have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Peacock, My Cock, Your Cock. It's like all these different things. And like you originally cut the fucking cord to get rid of cable and save some money, and then you're paying even more money. And now you're paying more money, and like Peacock has fucking ads. Peacock's free if you have ads. But Hulu, you pay and you have ads still. So you don't even escape it. And so you're paying more, and then I'm like I told you, I've never ever have paid for porn before, and it's like I fear that I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I mean there will always be some kind of free thing on the internet, but like you said, at the
Yeah, but
beginning
I'm
of
not
this-
looking for some fucking backwoods redneck hillbilly getting fucked by her uncle in the dirt. I want her to be like somewhat attractive and actually like be impressive, not something from like the Wrong Turn series where they're all fucking inbreds.
Well, what I was going to say is, like you said,
Oh man.
like you said at the beginning of this, it's all shit you've seen before. So like there'll always be the free shit out there, but it's probably going to be stuff you've seen.
But like, have you ever like? I mean, I've been watching porn for a long time. You guys have read my story. I mean, I've pretty much been watching since I was like 11. As soon as I could come, I was going, and but like sometimes like I can remember like what a model looked like, and if she's still doing it, like I went back to like see like an early video, and it's like in like 360p, and I'm like, how the fuck did I ever jerk off to 360p? If it's not 1080, my dick ain't getting up for it. And then it's like, well, what's gonna happen in the future here? Like what? Like is 1080p eventually not gonna look great? Am I gonna need like one of those virtual reality things like we were talking about on that VR chat, where it goes around my fucking cock and vibrates for me? Like what's the world gonna look like here?
I mean, I sure hope that's not the case because that sounds very expensive, and I'm not down with
It
that.
is, but then you don't necessarily need your girlfriend or wife if you're married. It's just different strokes for different folks. But I'm definitely not jerking off to no 360p porn. There's
No,
fucking way.
they already have 1440. I mean, fuck, where are we going next?
Hey, you can't even see the areola when it's like 360. It just looks like a fucking
1 pixel.
yeah, it's just like, it's just one, like, looks like fucking Minecraft Steve over here. He's just like fucking running around, and it's not what I'm about. I want to see the curves and the details.
Me too, dude.
And you know what? You know what's actually good too? When it's like 60 FPS.
Yeah.
You ever see something like that? Dude, once you see 60 FPS, 30 FPS doesn't look as good either, man.
Is that what they're normally in? 30?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't look as good. But dude, once you go to 60, you're like, man, this shit's really going.
Wait, so that's actually like a clicking point in the titles when they say 60 FPS?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just thought that was bad titling in the video. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
no, dude. I see 60 FPS, I'm like...
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
And
I didn't
certain
know that.
certain websites have it, certain websites don't. Like Pornhub, I'm never going to pay for a Pornhub premium subscription. I'm just not going to. Maybe that's my Netflix I'm looking for. But I don't know.
It probably is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but dude...
It's expensive, though.
Is it?
I haven't done it. I would never pay a monthly something like that. But I have dabbled in OnlyFans, but somebody said that like it was either Pornhub or Brazzers is like $100 a month.
Holy shit!
Or there's $100 a month option or something. But somebody said that like they were just like looking. You know how they give you the ads like free month of blah blah blah. Somebody clicked on it and looked into it, and it was like you would get a automatic bill of $100 once your free month was up.
Holy shit!
That's fucking expensive, dude.
Yeah,
$100 a month for porn? Get a life,
dude. I don't care if you're jerking off 2 times a day. That's not worth it.
I don't care if you're beating off 100 times a day. That ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's like, see, and like Brazzers, man, I fucking hate Brazzers. Like, their videos are so fucking staged, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And like, the quality of it just drives me crazy, and I can't believe how long we're talking about porn. But it's fucking crazy. And I'm sure every guy listening to this is just like, I fucking agree. I totally agree. Especially these kids who don't have a credit card. They can't pay for their fucking porn. And, yeah, but like, man, like, Bang Bros is where it's at for me, man. Like, their videos always seem nice.
They seem real nice. Yeah.
Well, dude, like Brazzers, man, they give you like the worst angles. Like they'll give you like an overhead view. I'm like, I don't care what the top of her head looks like. I want to see her titties, man.
Yeah, I hate the views that they give you. I mean, I don't know really like what channels, if you will, do it the best, like give the best views or whatever. But dude, some of the ones I don't really pay attention to that. But like some you click on and you watch through, I'm like, who is like, wow, that's a good angle. That's a good shot.
Yeah. Or like they're like, look at this guy's nutsack and shaft.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. It's next.
Yeah.
Like
they need to get new directors.
Yeah, like, dude, I think your cameraman's fucking gay. So can we like actually get a fucking heterosexual male or female over here that could actually or a gay female, I guess that would be. But someone who could get some pussy or nipple shots in here, but
yeah. We need old Steven Spielberg to shoot a porno. Like, direct one, at least. Man. Not shoot one. Direct one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be funny.
Steve, get on it.
Steve, come on.
Big Steve guy.
Big Steve guy.
Yeah, that's, man, what a conversation. We've literally have gone from fucking stripper, from me vomiting to strippers to talking about porn for probably 15 minutes.
And there's some shit talk in there, too.
Oh, yeah, there was shit talk and pissing all on yourself talk. What a weird episode.
Dude, that's what we do best.
Yeah, I want to talk about porn one more time.
Okay, I don't got nowhere to be.
Have you ever tried VR porn?
No, I don't have a VR.
Dude, it's fucking incredible.
Is it?
Like when I brought up the cock ring thing, I'm like, I would buy that. Like, I've seen these videos where people are like, sex with people are going to become obsolete because it's just going to be so fucking good in the future. Like, you could have exactly what you would like. Like, oh, your girlfriend won't suck your cock? Well, the cocksucker 5000 will. And it's like... But, dude, I put this VR headset on first time. Literally, I got it at, like, Black Friday. And everyone's like, oh, let's see what it's like. So we're playing all these stupid games. I'm like, dude, is it, like, nighttime? I just want to go fuck this thing. And... But, I don't want to fuck that thing. I just want to watch porn.
I'm going to fuck this headset.
But, so I watch porn on, and I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, you actually feel like you're, like, fucking this person. It's crazy, Bob. And, I was talking to my dad about, like, this was weeks ago. When we played that VR chat, he's like, oh, do you have a VR headset? I'm like, I do, but I don't really ever use it anymore. He's like, why not? And I'm like, I really have only ever used it for porn. And he's like, yeah? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, it's almost too good, but then you gotta fucking put the headset on. You gotta, like, it's a whole fucking
It's a whole routine, yeah.
Like, if it ain't easy, I ain't doing
Yeah, then you just feel dirty at that point, and you're like, what am I doing? I could have watched porn.
Yeah, I could have sweet talked Rachel at this point into, getting some action here. But, like, instead of having to pull out this fucking clunky headset, it's like, it sticks off of your head like this far, And you're like, well, it has a whole computer in it.
Yeah.
And like, it's fucking heavy to keep it on your head. You're like, oh my God, like, come on, Derek, go faster.
Because like at that point, dude, like what you put it on and you're halfway through a video and you're like, oh my God, it's dying. And then it dies on you. And then you're dick in your hand. VR's dead. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, well, the issue with VR too is like a lot of like the high quality videos are only like maybe 6 minutes long, and I need some time, man. And like, there's a whole story involved. Like your fucking leaky sink is coming over. Like, you gotta watch the whole damn thing, and you gotta go through this whole. Yeah, I'm under your fucking sink fixing your pipe. Like, come on, lady. And then I want to look down, and you'd be like, oh, I'm staying on your pee-pee. And
I'm stuck in the dryer.
But yeah, so you only have like 6 minutes, and then you got to find another one if you're not done in time, or you got to keep rewinding. I hate that shit, man.
I hear you.
We need to make it big so I could just buy porn and never have to worry about it again.
That's right. Or buy somewhere like the Palace.
I think I'd rather just watch porn. It's a lot safer. Like, dude, you walk out of that place with any money, you're like, I'm gonna get robbed.
Yes.
Either a guy's waiting out by your car, or one of these strippers is gonna come out and act like she's gonna fuck you, and she's gonna fuck you up
And steal your money.
Yeah, man. What a weird place and time.
That's right.
Do you got anything else, Bob?
No, that's about it. I got some packing to do for vacay, and yeah, I got a long drive ahead of me. I guess it's not tomorrow morning. In 2 days. I'm trying to stay up late tonight, though. So when I get back from work tomorrow, I can go to bed as soon as I get home, wake up early in the morning, get to driving.
Well, I hope you stay safe, have some good memories, and hopefully you'll have something good to say when you come back.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, this is pre-recorded a week in advance, just to make sure we're staying consistent for you guys. But in the meantime, if you guys want to connect with us, follow us on all of our social medias. Mostly Instagram is where we're the most active. Definitely go over there, follow us, send us a message, and if you have anything else, just let us know, and we'll try our best to get back to you. Anything else you want to say, Bob?
Nope. Just hit up the YouTube, check us out there. Leave us a voicemail, because we want to start doing that more and start pumping that out more, because it's pretty cool when you guys call in and do some stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I got.
Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this weird fucking episode of the Cracked One Open podcast, and if you like this version better, let us know, and if you're still here for some reason while we're rambling at the very end, we respect you the most.
You guys are the realest.
Yeah, you guys are the realest, and we'll see you on the next one. So enjoy your night, day, evening, whatever the fuck time it is. Peace out, guys.
Adios.